Have you ever fell in love with somebody? You know what I'm talking about. It's like when you fall in love with that person, man, it's like nothing. I'm talking about real talk, for real. Like it's nothing that you won't do for that person, right? Nothing. There's no sacrifice you're not willing to make for that person that you fell in love with. All right, what's up? This is Coach D. Hey, one thing to actually see yourself balling and to find your ex, you know, that reason why you need to ball out. And it's one thing to actually commit and then to know exactly when to pivot. But none of that means anything unless you fall in love. What do I mean? Let me say this first. Have you ever fell in love? Like, has there ever been that one where you're like, ooh, man, this is my everything, right? My everything, right? Have you ever been like that? And when you find that person, listen what I'm about to say. There's nothing that you won't do for that person that you fall in love with. There's no sacrifice that you won't make for that person that you fall in love with. It's the reason why I say fall in love with the process. I remember, and I was in high school and my girlfriend's dad, right? I remember going to him one day and I said, hey, sir, I really like your daughter. Like I really want to be with her for a long, long time. And as I began to tell him how long I wanted to be with her, and I began to break down how much I cared for her, how much I loved her, he had asked me a simple question. He said, are you sure? I kind of looked at him like, what? He said, are you sure? He said, there's a good chance that my daughter, that she can end up like that woman right there. Pointed over to my girlfriend's mother. And what I had noticed about my girlfriend's mother is that she was in a wheelchair. And the other thing I noticed is that her mother couldn't do for herself. Her mother couldn't feed herself. Her mother couldn't shower herself or bathe herself. Her mother couldn't change her own clothes or hardly even speak, right? And I already knew the answer. Like without hesitation, I knew what I was gonna tell this man. But I had paused for effects, right? I wanted him to believe that I was thinking about the answer. But in my mind, and when I had answered him, I had told him, I said, yes, sir, without a doubt. I love your daughter. And like, even if she gets sick just like her mom, like I'm there for her. Like I'm not going anywhere. There was nothing that I wasn't willing to sacrifice for her. Why? Because I loved her and because I was in love with her. I hope you caught that. And so I'll be honest with you guys, fast forwarding all the way to today. Guess what? We've been married for a good minute, almost 20 years. You already know that. But my wife, she ended up getting sick just like her mama. She ended up in a wheelchair just like her mama, right? She has a hard time talking just like her mom did, right? It's hard for her to do certain things, bathe herself or get dressed or whatever the case is. But guess what? We still together. We still together. And so what I'm saying is it's a process. I'm gonna slow that down for a minute.
It's a process.
It takes time. I need for you to be just like that with your process. Whatever your process looks like. Will it be pretty? Will it be easy? Will it be painless? No, it won't be. It's probably gonna be ugly, right? It's probably going to be extremely difficult. One of the most difficult things you ever done in your life. It's probably going to be painful, but I promise you, without a doubt, it is worth it. The very thing you said you want is worth going through the process. It's worth you enduring whatever you need to endure, but I need for you to fall in love with it. That means you're not going to cheat on it. Catch the same person you fell in love with, it's really hard to actually cheat on that person, right? Why? Because you're in love with them. Like, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to cause you to not trust me or anything to break up this good thing that we got going between us. And so you won't even cheat on that person. Why? Because you're in love with them. And I'm saying the same thing for you. I need for you to fall in love with the process. Don't cheat on it. You hear what I'm saying? Do not cheat on the process. Because you cheating on the process means you're cheating on your dream. You cheating on the process, messing things up, and not setting yourself up to actually fulfill that vision, to accomplish those goals. You have got to go through it. When it has everything to do with your attitude and your mindset. It has less to do with the final score on the scoreboard. And catch this though, winning isn't something that you can just go to Walmart and just buy off the shelves. It's not something you can order online and expect it to show up the very next day on your doorsteps. In order for us to actually have the right kind of mindset, in order for us to have the actual attitude that we need in order to win, you're gonna have to develop it. And depending on what your mindset and attitude is currently, it may take a minute, right, before you get it to the level that it needs to be at in order for you to win. It's something that you really are going to have to work at. Each step is needed to win. And if you skip a step in the process, or if you rush it, it's a good chance you may end up sabotaging your own success. What I want you to take away from this is that when you get to the point where you fall in love with the process, then the very thing that you're chasing becomes within reach. Guess what? It's inevitable, baby. It's just a matter of time now because you fell in love with the process. Get to the point where there's nothing that you won't do. Why is that? Because you understand that it's necessary for me to go through this. And if I don't go all the way through with this, then guess what? I'm not going to become who I need to become in order to get what I want to get. You catch that? I'm not going to become who I need to become in order to get what I said I want to get. All right, so anyhow, so we talk about this whole process. What it does, it helps us to form the right kind of mindsets. It helps us to actually make the necessary adjustments with our attitude. Some of us are going after things for the wrong reason. Our motives ain't right. And because our motives aren't right, guess what? We're willing to skip steps. We're saying we want to go to college, but the only reason why I want to go to that big name college is because I want to impress people. I want people, when they hear, oh, you went to so-and-so, wow. And it's like, it's not about the attention. It's not. Do you want your education or not? Do you want the best quality education? And why is that, right? It's not about trying to impress the next person. Some of us, we want to get into relationships. Why? We want to get relationships back right with mom or with dad, maybe with dad, because the friends that we hang around, they constantly talking about, they bragging on how they had good times, with their dad, how them and their dad had just went to go do something. And because we want to fit in, we want to get their relationship right with dad. It's like, but that, you just doing it to try to be accepted by others. Like, what's the point in doing that? Like, do you really want a relationship with your dad or not? Is that really important to you or not? Some of us want to go and make that money and start that business because we think money is going to bring about satisfaction and fulfillment. We think the things that money can buy is going to bring that. And truth of the matter is not. I need you to have the right reason. I need you to have the right mindset, the right kind of attitude towards going after that goal. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I need you to have that. And so the process, what it does, the process, it weeds out the fake from the real. Those that are faking about how they really want this, it weeds them out. And those that really do want it, it proves that they really do want it because they're willing to go all the way through the process. And they're not trying to skip steps because they know if I skip steps, I'm not going to be in a position to actually get what I really want. I cannot skip steps. So I'm telling you, do not cheat the process. Fall in love with the process. Do not be the one who is infatuated with the dream, with the vision, but never fall in love with the process. I told my cousins and I told my younger brother, I said, man, I want a wife and 7 kids. That was my vision. I want a wife and 7 kids. That was my dream, right? And of course, to be a millionaire and whatever else, right? That was my dream. And so when I had the opportunity to do it and I sat down with my father-in-law, I realized that, man, you know what? This might be part of the process. To have a wife and 7 kids, to be married to someone that I really care about, to have a long life with her, listen, this might be part of the process. I may have to push her around in a wheelchair, like my father-in-law was doing with my mother-in-law. I may have to be the one to bathe her, right? To feed her, right? To translate for her because it's hard for her to speak. I may have to be that one, but I understood that it was part of the process. And if I really wanted that wife and 7 kids like I said I want, then I had to be willing to go through it. And so I'm saying the same thing for you. Know what you want, but then I need for you to fall in love with the process. Fall in love with the process. And you look up one day and be like, man, look at that. I got it. I did that. And if you're really sweet, you can say, man, we did that. Hear what I'm saying? Whatever you do, don't quit. Don't quit. Let's keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. You know what I'm about to say. Let's take it to the house. I'm out.